What's good, everybody? Welcome back to episode 12 of Dink or Swim.
Dink or Swim. This is Caesar.
This is JT.
This is Howie.
This is Huey.
And welcome to another episode. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while for me. I know, Huey, it's been a while for you as well. JT, been some time. Got a special guest, Howie.
Been a minute.
What's going
Welcome
on,
to
y'all?
the show.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for having me.
Should be some fun. But yeah, I just want to catch up real quick. So on our last episode that we were on together, Huey, we talked about preparing for a tournament. And I know that you were involved with one that weekend when we did the last podcast. How did that go?
It was a good experience. We were very prepared. We got the food. We got a hotel over there, and then everything else was just preparation for the game. So drilling and all that stuff. Me and Yatish, we did not drill, and so we played a open tournament. So that means that it's all ages, all divisions, and all genders.
Really?
So it was like a kind of a mixed match of different level of playing. We got to actually play like two pros, and then they were like 5.8 and 5.6 duper.
Jeez.
One of them being
like
Nicholas
together at the
Wade.
same time. Nicholas Wade
Yeah, Nicholas Wade.
at the same time. Like they were on the same team.
Yeah,
Oh, how was that?
we got murked.
Yeah, like bageled or
It was fun though. We got like it was like 15-2.
oh, I mean, not a bagel.
Yeah,
That's a win.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. So that was cool. And then did you sign up for another one or?
Did I sign up for another one? I have a lot of tournaments lined up.
Next one is Craneway.
No,
Moneyball.
I have a SJPC. Oh, it's at the hub on the 15th. Then Craneway on the 21st. Then on the 30th, it's at Sacramento.
Jeez.
And then another one in Las Vegas.
All right. So got to keep your body right, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about in a bit. But that's cool. You got a lot of things lined up for you. Get some exposure to your brand, to yourself. Have some fun while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. You got anything coming up, JT?
Oh, what do I have coming up? To Sunday with Diplo's run rave. It's also, we've been preparing for that, running every single day at the gym. And then the next tournament is with David, is Craneway tournament. I actually might do it's the SJ. I think I'm doing that one with Yatish on that one. So that one will be the next tournament, and then Craneway. So we'll be doing a Moneyball tournament. I think we're doing 3-5 for that one.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll be playing for money. It's crazy. My
Okay.
first Moneyball
Dang,
tournament.
for money.
Yeah, for money.
The big
So,
bucks.
Yeah, so ready for.
Yeah.
Oh, and then one last thing. Today, my first time ever playing against a pro. So it was very,
Yeah.
Dang, everyone out here playing with pros or something?
No. So
connected with him.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess Huey, you could talk about it a little bit more. But there was an event today at the hub. There was a few pros. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, the hub was hosting a exhibition match, and then they had 3 like teams. I think it was like a Dallas team. That's like Augie.
Yeah.
So that's he's a lefty. He's Asian. He beat Ben Johns, and then they had like Colin Schick. There's Eric Lager. There's a Purple Jesus.
Yeah, I
and
saw
then
him.
Jesse Irving. So it was the cool thing about it was that they let the community play with them.
Yeah.
Either with them or against them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was cool. When I first walked in, I saw, I don't know if you know who Michelle is, but she was playing against these 2 pros. And that was a cool experience. Just watching them hang out with the community, be involved, tone it down a bit. They were like, not going too crazy. I heard Purple Jesus was going crazy though, like on everybody.
it was good.
I heard he was like slamming it on kids and stuff, but I don't know. But that's a cool event. I mean, how was your experience with that? You played with him too, right?
Yeah, so I played against him. So it was good. At the beginning, I was kind of discouraging myself again. I was very nervous. I was probably one of the most nervous moments having my paddle in that rack, And then once I actually scored on him, I was like, I belong. And then I was like, even though we lost, I was like, I was playing. Like I was actually playing against him. I was actually competing, and my shots were actually consistent. Now I gotta really, play again, like move them around, right? And then that's a whole different level I have to learn. But the consistency was there. It's just now shot selection and moving them around and playing them, right? Like chess match, controlling the game. Right?
Yeah, I thought you were asking. I think you were talking to Augie a bit, right? You were asking him questions. Yeah.
I was trying to learn that top spin, right? He's really good at, top spin. So
No, yeah, just watching those games were insane, and you and Kenny were holding it down.
Yeah.
Who were those two guys you played against?
It was Augie and Colin Schick.
Colin Schick, yeah.
So I think he's in the team for Dallas, and then Colin Schick, he plays with Jack Sock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so very good experience. Got to smash on them.
Yeah, no, I was watching. I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched like the last 5 or 6 points, and I remember one point where you just freaking got up, did the high Q volleyball smash down,
Yeah.
and then they were both like, "Damn!"
Caught on 4K.
Yeah, caught on 4K. That was pretty cool. We'll upload that later. But that was cool to see, and they were impressed, right? And it's kind of cool to see pros at the sport being impressed with your own game, right? So cool experience. I didn't know that was going to happen today. I had no clue. Yeah, but we wanted to transition. We have a special guest here today. We're going to do something a little different today, and we're going to talk about injuries in your body and how you can better take care of your body for the sport. I know there's quite a few people out there that have some injuries or have had injuries or are fighting tennis elbow or some knee pain or whatever the case may be, right? So we wanted to bring on our special guest, Howie. Want to introduce yourself, who you are, what do you do, where are you from? The whole bang.
The whole shebang. Well, man, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. Second of all, I gotta learn a thing or two in pickleball because I had no idea what the hell you guys were saying, what these people are, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta get out there. I gotta get more immersed with the community of pickleball. My brother's a big pickleball player, so.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it was nice to, over the weekend, we were actually down in Irvine with my dad, my brother, my girlfriend, and his girl, and we all played pickleball together. It was a great time.
Pretty big community out there.
Yeah, just to see dad and my brother. And you know how it is you get one random guy coming in, and now you're making friends with that guy, and just watching that guy, how he's treating your dad with respect. I'm like, damn, what a community.
Yeah.
Even down in SoCal, I'm repping Happy Dinker, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
All right, bring this thing down there, But quick intros, my name is Howie. I grew up in the Bay Area. Professionally, I'm a chiropractor. But I think in terms of purpose, I think, you guys create this brand. We're always talking about purpose and purpose. I think about my purpose as just being the hype man for human evolution. That's what I look at, right? I'm not here to help you or do anything. I'm just here to create a space to help guide you to where you want to go. Right, and do that through chiropractically. As a chiropractor, I do that through doing men's work. I do that through coaching swimming. That's something I'm really passionate about doing.
Really nice.
I was a big time swimmer growing up, and it's a kind of this saying, if you're good at something, you have a responsibility to teach the next generation. That's how I look at it. And just really enjoyed helping people get better and watching them, get their goals and be able to relate with them. You're kind of swimming with them almost sometimes, right? And I really love that. And I think that's a big reason as to why I transitioned to being a chiropractor, because I really then was just like, how do I get people to not be better, but how do I empower you or get you excited enough, enthusiastic enough to take your health into your own hands and do something about it, right? Your knee hurts, your shoulder hurts. How long has this been hurting? How long have you been taking this medication for it? So it's not working. Okay, I got to get you hyped up to go to the next level, because it's not just X, Y, or Z exercise. That makes sense. And so professionally, I'm a chiropractor. How I describe myself as a chiropractor, because a lot of chiropractors do different things. A lot of you take any chiropractor off the street, he and I or she and I may practice differently. Completely different, right? So for me, I look at it as, how do I describe myself? Well, I am a breath-based, trauma-informed chiropractor, meaning the way I approach the human body, I look at it from multiple dimensions, meaning it's not just, you're coming in with physical pain. It's, all right, you have physical pain. how much of this is coming physically, emotionally, chemically, right? How much of this is trauma stored in your body? That's why I call it trauma informed, because we have to talk about it, right? It's not just physical trauma like you falling off a pickleball court or running over by a bus. It's like your last breakup. Did you process that? How did you process that?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're men, right? So, I mean, how many of us have gone through a breakup where we just went straight to the gym, right? That's like a running joke, right?
Fuel.
But a lot of times it's like, did you actually process that? Or is going to the gym and getting all raw and all that, is that just band-aiding and masking, right? So it's like creating this, I call it awareness, because you need awareness first. Like, what's going on in your body? Can you actually feel like this is an issue? Then 2, can you actually accept the fact that this is happening? You're not in denial. Like, this is happening because you did this to yourself, not because anyone else. It's like, it's the habits and everything that accumulated through the time.
Do you feel that's common where some patients, they don't want to accept that they're hurting somewhere, both emotionally and physically?
It's a lot of the emotional component, because obviously, like something hurts in your body. You can obviously acknowledge it. Doctor, if I squat this way, or if I move this way, or I get out of bed, it hurts. Yeah, we can always acknowledge that and understand that. But I always tell them, like, I'm doing you a disservice, whether or not you resonate with the emotional manifestation of physical pain, whether you resonate with that or not, whether you just look at the studies or not, that's on you. I'm not here to tell you otherwise. I'm not a religion. I'm not trying to force this down your throat, but I'm going to do you a disservice if I don't talk about this. If I don't create the awareness that I'm talking about. Right?
Okay.
Because how many people come in and I look at why did I open my practice here in San Jose? I grew up here, so I really resonate with the community. B, I'm an Asian American immigrant. I'm a Taiwanese immigrant, like, family myself. I moved here when I was in first grade, so I understand also the stress of millennial Asian American immigrant, having, tiger helicopter parents, right? Having this expectation of, you have to go to that school.
Got to be a doctor, got to be a nurse.
Right, pick one, right? Doctor, lawyer, whatever, right? You got to go pick one. Right. And then coming out of that college that you worked so hard to get into, to get that job, or to go to that program. And for a lot of us now, coming out of that, feeling unfulfilled. Yeah. It's like, I got all this money. I got all this real estate, but like, I don't find joy in what I do. Right. Yeah. Oh, now this is starting to hurt and that's starting to hurt. And because that hurts, I'm exploring this. Oh, I found pickleball because it's so fun. It's an outlet for me. Great. I love that's an outlet for you. But shoot, now this is hurting. Now you don't have your outlet. What do you do now? So it's like it kind of goes into this cycle, the cause and effect. But at the end of the day, I just go, how are you managing your stress? Right? Are you aware that you're stressed out? Are you aware, like, the reason why you go so hard is because you have this attachment for validation from other people? That it used to be your parents, but now it's your boss. Now it's this and that. Like, you don't know, but like, do you understand where that's coming from? Because once you have the awareness of that, wow, now you can actually look at yourself in the mirror and go, man, I understand why I am the way I am. And in order to heal, you have to understand who you are. Right? So that's the awareness, then accepting that. Now let's go with the action.
It's funny that you bring that up, because on the last podcast that I was on, I talked about mind-body connection and how, because we were talking about preparing for a tournament, right? And how, like, your mindset's everything. Like, half the battle is your mindset. Half the battle is understanding that you're here, you deserve to be here, and you're going to perform to the absolute best of your ability. On the flip side, you're playing against yourself, your mind telling you otherwise. Oh, you're not good enough. You're not going to hit this drive good enough. You're not ready for the players on the other side, right? Whatever the case may be. And so I was talking about how I'm reading this book called The Confident Mind, and it talks about the mind-body connection, and how if you come in, whether it's sports or career-wise or whatever, and you think negatively, then your body has a chemical reaction and it tenses up your body. And now you can't move as freely as you'd like. On the flip side, when you have a positive mindset and you come into whichever action that you're doing with a mindset that you're going to do great, then same thing, chemical reaction. But on the flip side, now your body is not as tense, your heart rate is controlled, you're making better decisions. Like everything kind of circulates. So it's interesting that resonates with you, and it's like literally exactly what I was talking about last week or the week before. So that's pretty cool.
No, that's exactly, once you kind of have that understanding of this connection, right? And I feel like it's almost like a flex almost. It's like, oh, I have this edge over my competitor because I have this understanding, right? When I was swimming in college, we talk a lot about the power pose, which is just hand on your waist, like, you know, I was a swimmer, so behind the block, you know, you're just like
you're the shit.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. You know, versus like, I'm like, oh my, in my towel, like, oh no, like, there's no way. I'm 5'9", everyone's 6'4". I'm like, yeah, no way. I'm gonna beat that guy, no way, right? But it is this. When I was swimming, my coach gave us this thought, which was in which, as I was going through school, it started making sense actually in terms of like a biological, biochemical type of situation. But when my coach said this, it really resonated with me, which was when you're anxious and when you're excited, the same thing's happening inside your body. All right. So, you know, if we hook you up to the machine and you're excited versus nervous, we can't tell the difference between heart rate, heart pressure, everything. So in your head, just when you're nervous, you're excited. And I was like, wait, that actually makes sense. Whoa. Yeah, I am actually excited to swim right now, right? But also going to your point, something I say a lot in my practice. See you later, brother. Something I say in my practice a lot when I talk to patients about posture, because I'm so big on posture, which is posture is a reflection of your inner thoughts, right? So what is that? Like, remember me? So like if you're, let's say we're talking about pickleball in this matter, right? Like if you look at your opponent and their body language is, oh, like, I'm nervous, you're going to be like, yeah, game over, bro. Like, you're done. I got you. I'm about to snipe this, and it's GG for you.
Yeah, right.
So, like, same thing, right? Like, if you're able to, so what's going on in that guy's thought? Therefore, that's where his posture's at. So same thing for you, right? If you're noticing like, or oh, I'm feeling this anxious way, your body's coming down. Like you created this awareness that that's happening, accepting that, oh yeah, I'm nervous. So what's your action? Ah, shit, like, I'm gonna be pretty stoked all of a sudden, right? And now you actually like tricked your nervous system, and now you're actually excited. And something you probably hear me say a lot, which is the body follows the mind follows the breath. So to be able to now utilize your breath, like if we're all slouched out right now, and I always say this, take a big breath in right on the sternum. All right, game over. Now I'm up. Now I just had full breath. And you know what? Actually, I feel a little bit more clear. So like, again, if you see someone across from you as an opponent who's sitting like this, peaceful, zenned out, Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality type of where you're going to be like, I'm fucked. right? So then it's like, okay, how are you then going to react to that? Right? So it's exactly what you're saying. Like,
I love it.
A lot of the connection piece is that. Like, it's not just the body and the mind. It's also the last part. Spirit, energy, whatever you want to call it, right? It's also like, how many you guys know this in this game of pickleball? I mean, I probably have one of this like once a time I play pickleball. But you have that like finesse hit. That was just like, that was the one. You remember it forever, right? So that to me, it's like that's only possible because of your connection of mind, body, and now spirit, energy, whatever that is. Total combo, bam, you got that finesse.
Love it.
All right, I think that's where my definition of finesse comes from. It's the embodiment of mind, body, and
when they're all aligned
it's
and
like,
connected.
Therefore, that's finesse.
It's like your chakras are just, I'm just like thinking of, like when Naruto like does his thing and everything just connects and boom. Shadow Clone Jutsu. But no, so I also wanted to talk about your Huey and Howie. Howie, Huey. Say that.
Double A.
Say that 3 times fast.
Howie, Huey, Howie, Huey, Howie, Howie, Huey.
Howie and Huey, I want to talk about your two relationships. How did that happen? How are you guys working together now? What does that look like? Obviously, you're playing a lot of pickleball. You're probably going to him for a lot of emotional, mental, and physical support. But just talk about that relationship. How did you guys meet, and how did this come together?
I want to hear your side first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Okay, so for now, I just want a disclaimer that like whenever I go to Howie, it's like a haircut. I feel smooth after. Like it just makes me a lot like in touch, and it like locks me in, right? So let's go with like how we met, right? So Howie, I think you met me through social media, right? You found one of my videos that I was making, I make a lot of motivational videos, and I was doing my HD pickleball phase where I was like focusing on my credibility as a player, a community leader, and then an influencer on social media. So Howie reached out to me, and then
Just randomly, like not even.
he DM'd me.
Did you even? So he slid into your
I
DMs.
slid hard, bro.
Yeah. And then
Was there a follow at least, or just a straight like message?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I did a lot.
probably liked
all the
my
pictures?
stuff,
I like
Notice
liked,
me.
commented,
got my
shared,
attention.
Notice me,
Yeah.
senpai. All right.
and then finally slid right in.
Got
you
it.
know?
Okay. The works.
Give him some value
There you
first,
go,
right?
there you go.
Yeah.
So like I think back then like I was slowly going through this transformation of being very open, and pickleball was like one of them, right? And I was not used to communicating with people on social media. You don't know who's behind the screen. So my thought process is that you have to give trust to get trust. And so Howie shot out an invite to meet me at a place for breakfast burritos. And then we had a conversation, and then it led up to his practice. And then I did my research before I met him. I was watching all his videos and like how it took to get him there, right? And so it kind of inspired me,
Yeah.
and I wanted to see what more I can do for pickleball. So we took 24 sessions, right? Now I just
Like
signed up for another 12.
So you did 24 sessions since that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Got it. And that was 9 months ago.
January.
January.
Yeah.
January. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been with Howie for like 9 months, and the duration has changed, right? We used to do like 2 times a week. And then as slowly, like I was getting better and I was taking his practice, some of his exercises. And the biggest thing that I worked on was my breathing. And I was able to handle certain situations. And some people, they think that I'm sighing or getting mad. No, I'm just trying to get some air.
One of those.
Because
Yeah.
I'm doing it for pickleball. I'm doing it for everything. Like it's like, like when you inhale and exhale, that energy goes out. So that's why like you see like tennis players, they're always like grunting.
Yeah.
Badminton, whenever we smash, we make a noise, right? So something along that line, it started improving me and like making me more on the logical side. So I appreciate Howie a lot. He's taught me a lot.
Kind of like what we were talking about earlier, right? Like that mind body, taking that deep breath in and being able to channel that nervous / excited energy to channel it into a positive light, not, scrunched in, but more so, cool, I'm in control. I could rationalize everything that's going on. I can make logical decisions and still explode when I need to, right? Would you say that's kind of more or less?
Yeah, because like I would say back then I was not able to catch my breath. I even got diagnosed with like inhaler
Asthma or something.
asthma, and
Yeah.
I didn't need it when I was running. I only need it when I was in situations that I got into arguments with my mother, right? Or like any of like those things. So why can't I run like cross country and like play badminton and I still need an inhaler, right?
Man, dude, sorry. That's so crazy you went through that.
Yeah.
Because I had a misdiagnosed asthma thing too.
Yeah.
That was crazy you said that.
And it's crazy how like asthma like that inhaler, it's
Yeah.
a short-term treatment, and everyone's always quick for like something like a quick pill, whereas once you quit, like change your lifestyle, change your breathing, that's a long-term thing.
Yeah.
But I think what I think why I'm having this like crazy moment is that what you went through, similarly to what I went through, was a misdiagnosis that would have helped us if someone was like, you need help managing stress. You need help managing anxiety.
Yeah.
What are the moments of that? Well, for him, it's the moments he had with his family. For me, it was like really intense, like swimming situations, like anchoring a relay where I'm like, I don't understand why I can't breathe right now on this block.
Yeah.
I breathe like this is what I do as a sport. I don't know why I can't breathe. You know what I mean? So it was like part of that. But yeah, no, it just that gave me goosebumps when you said that. I was like, damn, you too, dude. Like I thought that was just me, man. Damn, misdiagnosed asthma thing.
I kind of think it's just like, like a lot of conversations, there's like two types of conversations that you can have. You can have discussions. That's where you are trying to understand each other. It's not like who's right or wrong. And then there's arguments, right? So at some point you need to understand and then later on be understood.
How did you guys meet from your lens? Your lens.
Now we know why I slid in the DMs now, right? So I opened my practice in January. So that was, I think, fresh off of maybe my first week in, just, again, trying to figure out how do I get people in. And in order to solve that riddle, it was who do I work best with? And for me, as I talk about, was, Bay Area, Asian American millennials, worked in tech and have sort of weekend hobbies and activities, because they probably have something that they're doing physically that they're probably getting a bit hurt or injured. And those are the people that I can connect better with and talk about this connection of, mind, body, and soul, be able to actually relate to some of their childhood struggles with their parents. Cause I, went through something similar. And so for me, it was like, okay, intentional. That's what I'm looking for. I'm manifesting that out there, right? For me, it was a very systematic decision that I made. And so from there, it was going on Instagram and just kind of networking, looking for people sort of to put in my network in my podcast called Heal 408. And essentially what this podcast is all about is finding San Jose Bay Area, people in the 408 area code, health and healing providers, and just connecting with them, helping them get their word out, what they do and why they do what they do, so that I can actually create a referral source for my practice members. And so when I first started out, it was essentially looking for like Asian American San Jose trainers. It was like, let's look for those, because I think based on what I see so far, I'm helping people, with their adjustments and the breathing. But the thing that kind of lacks on my end at that time was sort of the rehab and, with the strength training that I feel like a lot of people need. So I was going through that intentionally on my Instagram. So as I was kind of diving through, I found Huey's personal training, account. I think HD training, or what's it called?
It was it's my fitness account.
Fitness account, yeah.
So I think on like 2021, I was starting I was trying to lose weight. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start recording and then make sure I get my weights down, because I've always loved fitness, and then I wanted to inspire people. And then I created an outdoor gym.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just logging, and I haven't even touched that account.
Yeah, that's the thing that caught my eye, because it was like the last post was like years ago. So I was like, oh, bummer. I just spent like 10 minutes going down this rabbit hole. Found a guy that I was like, that looked pretty good, but not active. So, you just keep searching. And then bam, found, I don't think it was pickleball at the time, but I think it was just regular. What, do you remember what your tag was back then?
It was HD pickleball.
I think it was pickleball.
I was going through like a phase with trying to transition and learn about content creation.
I think that's what it was, just at right that time, right? And so, I just did anything to catch his attention, reposted his stuff, commented, liked his post. I figured, hey, my name says Dr.HowieWowie. That's going to be in a pretty attractive handle on anyone's post. So just providing value for myself, and just kind of did
for service.
Yeah, just kind of did that with several trainers, and Huey was one of the four, I think, that actually responded to my DM. I'd be like, yo, dude, love your content, love to connect. Are you in San Jose? And he was like, yeah, I'm here. Like, hey, well, love to connect with you in person. Now that he's not a robot, Yeah. He actually, we have good vibes. I like what his posts are about. I like what he's doing with his pickleball. So it's like, I want to meet you in person. Let me actually get the vibe from you. And I know this breakfast burrito spot, Roses, shout out, over in Saratoga. Why not? So I think it was like that week we went out, got breakfast, and it was just like connection. I was like,
love at first sight.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
The breakfast burrito.
It's funny. I could see why you guys connected so instantly, because when you were describing your podcast and what you were trying to do, or what you were trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish with it, it reminds me of when I first talked to Huey and we talked about pickleball and what we want to do. and how he wants to, start up Happy Dinker. And then I talked about how I wanted to start up a podcast and how I wanted to get people to be more aware and just build a community and get people on here just to showcase who we are. And not even so much like marketing ourselves, but more so just to spread the community aspect of pickleball and showcase that it's there for anyone that wants it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But that was just, again, you guys are recognizing that there's a need that needs to be met, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it was just, how do people find specialists nowadays? Yelp, Google, look at the reviews, right? But is that trustworthy? We don't know. How much of these, again, I'm a small business owner. I know what I'm doing to get my reviews, right? So it's like, I know what I'm doing, right? So it's like, okay, how can I actually create a trustworthy network for my practice member? Because this is what it's for them.
Yeah.
Right. If they're seeking extra help, like, I'll give you a great example the other day. I had a patient came in dealing with shoulder stuff. And for him, after 3 months to be like, Dr. Howie, the shoulder's like 80 to 85% better now. Phenomenal. Thank you. I think the last bit is energy. And it's like, do you know anyone? I was like, shit, okay. I got you, bro. What are you looking for? What type of energy? What kind of trauma, right? Bam, found him the exact person he was looking for. Yeah. Right. And that's all through just little reps of kind of what I did with Huey. Like, Huey, I love you. You're great. But you also like set the bar too high. Because you're my first meet. And then from there, it was like, no, not that great. I'm wasting all these burrito dollars, wasting all these hours doing that stuff. So now what's funny, Huey, is I actually do 15-minute Zoom calls just to start. Yeah. We start here, man. If we don't connect, stop wasting my time.
Set the bar too high, bro.
Stop wasting my burrito money,
That's cool though. So, Huey, how's your experience been? I know out of most of the players that I play with or am frequently around, I feel like you play the most or one of the most. Yeah. And consistently at a high level, right? So obviously there's people that play a lot and, myself included, but not necessarily playing at that high clip, so to speak, that high caliber where you're just constantly moving, sweating like crazy, going 100 miles an hour, controlled, right? But I would say you're probably one of the most conditioned players that I've seen. And I feel like you are one of the players that consistently output a high level of intensity, more so than others. So I just wanted to say, like, how much of that has been from Howie's help?
I think it helped a lot. It was an add-on. So with the breathing, I think now like putting the money for like, it's basically an investment for your health, right? And so
health is wealth.
Health is wealth. And so I would say okay, I'll start with like my regimen, right? So like I work out like 6 days a week. I run before, and like it didn't start off like that. It was hard at the beginning. So it like throughout the time with Howie, I grew, right? And it wasn't just my mind, it was my body and my soul. So like I'm able to do more and not be injured as much either.
I was also, sorry to cut you off, but I was also going to add to that. Obviously knock on wood, but you're one of the players I've never, other than that one time you rolled your ankle.
I just walk it off.
You walked it off, right? That was only like for a day.
Believe in the power of the movement, right? Don't take a break. Just deload, right? Take it easier. Just don't don't take a break, because then your body would have to relearn. And so like whenever I roll my ankle, I don't sit. I continuously just walk. Yeah. And then I'm good the next day. Right? And it doesn't swell as much either.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me too. When I rolled my ankle, I just kind of
brushed it off.
And I'm not completely, like, I definitely was playing not like 100% like I normally do, but I didn't want to take any time off. I just felt like if I did, it would just get stiff, and kind of what you were saying, power movement, any movement that I took away from it, it would probably deteriorate some of that healing. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it helped me out.
I'm gonna add on to this, because I do run with Huey every day, and as a new runner, when I was running, and I would have, like, I would be asking Huey, like, what are you doing? Like, I was the person, I was like, what are you doing with, like, He's like, I was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I didn't understand it. Like in the car, he would be doing it.
Can you do it again?
Like I didn't understand it, bro. Like I really didn't understand it. And he was like, it's helping me. It's helping me. With my, like I was like, bro, like it's excess. Like I don't know why you're doing it. Like we do it when we're running, and this is the real. When I was beginning at running, like we consistently run and I have no problems now. But like at the beginning, I would have cramps in my lung, like in this lung area right here. And it was consistent every single time. And he kept telling me, try the breathing techniques. And I was like, I was refusing. I refused it. I refused it every single time. I kept doing like different energy drink, or maybe it's like, maybe it's also hydration, but it's consistently all the time. It was kept the same cramp over and over and over again. Like, and I was like, bro, every single time, like there's videos like me, David, and Huey running, and I'll have to stop because I felt the cramp. And then like I'll try to phase out of it, but like I wouldn't accept the truth, right? Like trying something new, right? And that was like the thing, the problem I was having is trying something new that was out of the ordinary, right? And I started doing it, and I was like, dude, I don't have those cramps, like those cramps anymore. Like like in this area, right? In my lung area, like I don't have it anymore. And it's weird. I'm able to run like 3 miles like nothing, like consistently with them. So
you were not a runner at the beginning, right?
No.
And then you were trying to run at my pace.
yeah, and then,
And so like your lungs they're probably just not used to it.
yeah,
And then all it takes is that breath.
yeah, those breathing techniques, you know, like just the small things, right? And then there's a whole collection of things that you can learn from Dr. Howie, you know, like, but like, you know, like it's just learning to accept, accept things that might, like, you don't think that's gonna work for you, but just like learning from other people, like just accepting it.
Just look at like Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
I literally was just
it's
thinking
a
that.
real thing. It's crazy.
You know?
Like water breathing. Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we talk about, especially in my position, a lot of times where I'm trying to hold that space to guide patients to understand what's going on, and they're not accepting that, right? Like for me, yeah, that's frustrating, but for me, for me to detach from frustration, I always tell myself, you can't teach someone a lesson they're not ready for. Right? So it's okay if I know what that lesson is, but like until you're ready, I'm not gonna come at you with like I told you so attitude. It's just when you're ready, fuck, I'm hyped, dude. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you everything I know about this breath work. You know what I mean? So it's like when you're ready to be poured, yeah, you're gonna be poured. But until then, like you're gonna have to go on your own journey and figure it out.
Yeah,
right?
you can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped. Right.
Wouldn't you say also like when you're adjusting, it's a lot easier to adjust people when they're like on a certain tempo on their breathing?
Yeah, a lot of times, I mean, it's from my background in terms of how I deliver the adjustment, my foundational baseline is adjusting from a place of ease. So if a particular segment on your body or a joint that's not moving, it needs to be moved, I'm not going to just force my way through. There's a level of finesse, right? Mind connection, mind, body, and soul. And so, yeah, like in order for me to achieve that connection for myself, I always tell myself, I have to take myself to those depths, or else how else can I hold space for people?
Yeah.
Right? If I cannot look into myself and understand where my trauma comes from, right? If I cannot confront my parents about like the way they're talking to me or how they're gaslighting and making me feel, then I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah.
You know? And so once I'm able to go that realm, I can actually look at you and actually understand you better. Because you're now describing problems that I can actually relate to. It's not problems I try to run away from.
Empathize.
Right? Yeah, I have that empathy,
Yeah.
right? So like when we just come into like the breathing and the breath and guiding the ease and making them feel more relaxed, like, yeah, I want that. I want people to almost feel like they're falling asleep on my table, because how many of us are struggling to fall asleep at night?
That is true.
Right? And then back, going to your point where, we're asking you about your experience, since coming to my office and everything, like, I know a lot of times the credit's given to me, but I always give that credit back to you because you do the healing yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It starts from within.
yeah, and we even talk about our journey together. Huey, like, you saw my name as Dr. HowieWowie. You investigated and saw that I'm a chiropractor, right? So, like, before you even made that appointment to my office, your healing journey has begun just from responding to my message. Because there's a level of curiosity behind that.
Yeah.
Whether it's, he's got something to offer, but it's just like, hey, okay,
I just wanted to learn.
he's in a profession where it's like, I am intrigued, right? And so I think a lot of that is just, I'm adjusting you. Yeah, things are feeling better. But I always tell you guys, like, what are you going to do about it now?
Yeah.
Right? You're
What's
gonna,
outside.
Right? You're going to go
What's
home,
next?
back to your couch and, wallow in self-misery like you were, and this is how you got here in the first place. Or you're going to go do the things that you wanted to do. And that's why on the first day, we always talk about our goals. Like, what is our goal? What are we trying to achieve? And Huey at the time, and it's so cool to watch you grow. We not even hit a year in. We're 9 months fresh, bro.
Yeah.
Right. And not only just to see your growth, but also feeling like my growth and my practice are just kind of going hand in hand with what's going on with you.
Yeah.
Which is why I was so stoked when you asked me to be on this podcast. My girlfriend Karen was actually like, man, they should have asked you sooner. But but it was stoked to be like given that trust and chance to be like, hey man, like, we want you to come on. And it was cool, Huey. Like, I really appreciate that. And a lot of it is just, I talk about manifestation in the beginning, but I really feel true to that. It was like, I don't know how much of this is you manifesting me, but I wholeheartedly believe that. And I said this before, that we were meant to meet each other. And whether we're supposed to do something out of this, who knows? But like, for you to actually come in and give me trust to help you and do the things you want to do. And in return, you have now inspired me to create my brand. And as of yesterday, Heal for OA is a nonprofit. Like, we did it.
Hell yeah, man.
So it's like,
Congrats.
you see the jump that we're making all together, and just to hear, earlier, JT, you talking about your leveling up, right? I know we just met, but shit, it seems like you've already done so much. It's like we are in a community where it's like-minded individuals who are just ready to take life by the balls, pretty much, by the neck, excuse me, right? And really live it and embrace it and understand that, we can create a personal brand that is attractive and actually make some money on the side, right? And I think you guys are really showcasing what's possible. And I think that's why I'm so big on supporting what you guys are about. Sure, I'm not a pickleball guy, but I'm your biggest non-pickleball ally, I hope, out there.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
totally. And that's honestly, that's what it's about, right? Yes, pickleball is like the outlet. It's the thing that binds us and connects us. But really, it's all about the community and all about networking and
The people.
and friendship and
Elevating
together as a unit.
Come from
Right.
different paths.
Yeah, and then just helping everyone out. And that's kind of been the message since day one for all of us. Even before pickleball, like, I feel like we've all kind of had that somewhere deeply rooted in ourselves. Maybe it didn't manifest itself all the way.
Find your tribe,
Yeah.
kind of.
But it's kind of been there, right? But yeah, I also wanted to talk real quickly on, since we have you here, some of the more common pickleball injuries, and obviously don't want you to reveal any of your secrets, right? But just maybe just your thought points on like what you could do for preventing it and whatnot. But I guess the first one, tennis elbow. That's a pretty common one.
That's my thing now, is I kind of want to be the first doc that's, going on air to say it should be called pickleball elbow now, tennis ball elbow.
Should we start calling it that?
Because I'm telling you right now,
PB.
the people that come in with those are pickleball players,
Yeah,
not tennis players.
that's true, huh?
So I'm like, maybe we
All
do
right.
need a...
You heard it here first.
We heard it here first, yo.
Pickleball elbow. PB
Pickleball
elbow.
yeah.
PB elbow.
PB elbow. All right. So,
elbow.
so PB elbow. PB elbow. Have you had it?
I've had it at the beginning.
I've had it. I switched paddles and it went away, but I've had it before. Have you had it?
No.
Okay.
I hope I don't end up having it. But I don't know. Me, I don't know. I slam the ball a lot.
Yeah. So one thing about
Like driving.
pickleball elbow, I'm not used to saying
Yeah,
it. You know?
that's what I'm saying. We got
It doesn't roll like right.
Pickleball elbow.
I mean, the other case is pickle elbow, but then that just sounds weird. So, yeah.
So
PB elbow.
I realized I was getting a lot of like that elbow issue, not because of like the workout itself. It was also outside. Am I warming up? Am I stretching after? And then also, how often am I on the keyboard or the phone? Like just doing that finger movement,
Yeah.
you can exhaust your fingers. Yeah. That's why I get stiff.
Yeah. So you feel like obviously warm up
Yeah.
is key
Warm
Oh,
up
yeah.
big
to prevent.
Yeah.
What about warming down or cooling down?
That's important too.
Any stretches you recommend?
Do you have a name for this, Howie?
That's like when you grip your fingers and you.
Fingers, you pull it back. And then
Is there a
there's this
name for-
one.
Yeah.
I just go, put your wrist in flexion, extension, stretching that out.
There's that.
Okay.
And then warm ups, I do like rotational.
So it's all in your wrist that kind of help.
Yeah, it's because I think the thing that causes tennis elbow is these two muscles and this one
Yeah.
and the tricep and forearm muscle name.
Oh man, you gonna make me name those? Man, we got the flexor digitorum, we got the brachioradialis. What all Huey's saying is all just the flow of when we look at pickleball elbow, right? Like, but a lot of times, rather than treating the symptom, what I call it, right? Like I always try to find the root cause, right? And like I'll kind of give you kind of my train of thought clinically a little bit, right? If someone were to come in, their pickleball elbow or whatnot, right? Like, first of all, my thought process goes, okay, cool. Obviously, elbow hurts, right? There's something going on. So, I want to understand the emotional baseline behind this injury. How does injury make you feel? How pissed off are you? Are you pissed off, or are you annoyed? Are you irritated? Where are you on this? That's number one. That's I want to know that piece, right? Two, I also want to know, in addition to how much time you're playing pickleball, like what outside of pickleball, what are you doing most of your day? Right? Some people, content creators, are moving around, driving around, right? Some people, right, working in the hospital, so you're carrying and walking, and some people are just in your desk, right? So we're going to be presented with different postures, right? Because what people don't realize is the posture you have on your day-to-day is going to be the position you're in when you're doing your sport, which is why the warm-up is so important, because to me, I almost look like the warming up, in addition to it warming up your heart and muscles, it's almost reversing the compression and contraction you have for that day.
Yeah, the 8 hours that you work
Right,
or whatever.
so if we're here all day, then a lot of your warm-up needs to be opening up your back posterior chain exercises, because all day everything in front is shortened, compressed, right? So you do need the breath to open everything up, right? Like I always say, like that's what it needs to be, right? We got to unwind your patterns so you can go freaking full send your pickleball, right? Because you may feel like you feel okay. That's how many of us feel okay, but function is what I'm looking at.
That's crazy that you bring that up. And it's just really opening up my mind, because now it's like we often associate these injuries with the in moment things that are happening.
Absolutely.
Oh, I hit the ball too hard. Oh, I did this. I swung incorrectly. I tripped, whatever. And yes, like that might be like the main thing that kind of tilts the,
Like the underlying issue.
Yeah, that might be the main thing. But what about everything that led to that point in the day, in the weeks, in the month, in the year?
My analogy with that's perfect that we had that breakthrough, right? My analogy with that is always like, look at it as like a relationship that just broke up, right? It's not just that one instance. It's a buildup of many different things that has been done that displeased your partner.
Yeah.
Right. And so it just happened to be that moment right there. Right. Yeah. But how many times has it been? It wasn't a big fight, or it was a small fight, or it just kind of fizzled out. Kind of same thing. It just kind of woke up with it. Right.
Yeah.
Like all those. So it's like, it's the accumulation. But yeah, it's so quick to understand where it's coming from. Because I think where I look at from a clinical aspect is people are stressed. They need an outlet. Pickleball is a phenomenal outlet. I think that's why it has really taken off. Okay. Do people understand how to intentionally express that outlet?
Yeah.
Right. So it's so easy because that ball's so small, the paddle's so quick. Yeah, I can smack the crap out of that. Right. And it could be at that particular moment. But if you're not understanding, like the way I always talk about it is like you have a stressful day at work. Right. You got people that have been upsetting you. You're going to hit that ball extra hard. Oh, now my wrist hurts. Now my elbow hurts. It's really easy to go, it's that moment. I had a really hard swing. I've had a really good top spin. It's really easy it's that, but I'm always trying to chase like, what is the root cause? How do we get here physically and emotionally? How much of that day did you breathe, brother? Did you breathe that day? Did you intentionally breathe? Red light, did you breathe? No.
How was your posture that day?
How was your posture? Like all that to me is relevant. Even for some people, they may be like, really? Like, is it really? I always say this. I mean, I don't know have I done this with you before where you came in with the wrist and I put a block on your hip and you're like, whoa.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
I had a little magic show with Huey on my table before, right? It was cool. It was cool to show him how the whole body is connected. the last thing I touched was his wrist. And by the time I touched that wrist, it was just like, I can move it. It feels good. Like just a little something there. Bang. But it was like, started from the toe, made our way to the wrist, right? So it was just showing him that, like, yeah, how you got here because of the disconnection throughout your whole body, right? And so back to my original point was, I don't chase pain. Like, yeah, people come in with pain, but I always try to tell people, like, you're in pain because of dysfunction.
Yeah.
But just because you're dysfunctional doesn't mean there's pain. So I'm going to chase your dysfunctional patterns. I'm going to try to make you more functional, right? And therefore, when you're more functional, I can almost promise you you're not going to be in pain. Rather than pain's gone, all right, whoop-de-doo. I'm like, no, hold on. Look at your posture for a moment. Look at your squat. Look at the way you walk, which is why, like, our first day assessment is those three: the walk, the squat, and the posture. Because I want to be able to reassess those things. So even when you're like, oh, I'm all good, Dr. Howie, I love that you're good. Let's check if you are good, right? Because we're not just going from a subjective, like, yeah, I'm out of pain. Yeah, I can smoke some weed and take 3 shots and be out of pain.
Exactly.
Right? I can go take an ibuprofen and be out of pain, right? I can do so many things to help myself get out of pain, but what can you do to actually make you squat better?
Yeah.
What can you actually do to make that wrist stronger?
Right.
Now, you got to do that work,
Right.
which is why I love what I do, because people come in and it's like, shit, I'm a whole different person, right? We're watching Huey breathe, and we're watching Huey's homie, watching him breathe, being like, what the hell? And now he's like, shit, no, I need to breathe. It's like, this is exactly what my dream is as a chiropractor, to impact one person who's going to then impact his community. And now guess what? JT, boom, new breath guy. How many people is he going to impact just from that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what gets me excited.
love it.
People are actually intentionally breathing. Like, no one's ever talked about that. PE classes never talked about how to actually breathe. But when we actually go belly, chest, neck, very simple cues. Damn, I feel pretty good, right? So it's like, okay, then this is what we got to start with, right? And so, but yeah, that's kind of like the foundation of how I sort of approach. So like when it comes to tennis elbow, like, yeah, sure, I know your elbow hurts, but I always come in from that approach. Like, let's go back to it, because guess what? If it is that stressful issue, then hey, we got it. Because something that people don't really realize is acute injuries like tennis elbow, like you hurt your back and everything like that, it'll go away in 3 weeks. That's what people don't tell you. It'll go away in 3 weeks. It's just, as a society, we don't have the patience to wait 3 weeks, because we got to do stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why there are specialists out there, right? But for me, it just goes, yeah, like, we got to figure this out. But let me help you figure it out, so then if this ever comes up, you know what to do. It's not just call me and let's get you out of it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. But cool. Well, I appreciate you dropping some gems for all of us out there.
That was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Man, I learned a lot. I'm just sitting here and just
learned a lot from
listening.
you.
It's crazy.
Howie, what do you have going on? Anything you want to shout out before we wrap this up?
So for sure. Well, my practice is over in Cameron Park Plaza, over by Los Gatos, over there on Union Avenue. It is in a facility that is shared space with a jiu-jitsu and a after-school program. So pretty exciting space over there in Cameron Park Plaza. We have our grand opening next Friday, September 13th, 5 to 8 o'clock. We actually did a collab with you guys. Can I drop that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. I was like, can I talk about that? Yeah. So shout out Huey, man. He's been working really hard creating a collab shirt with Happy Thinker and Golden Gate Chiropractic. We'll have those shirts out there for sale. Then make sure you go grab one, because it's a really beautiful shirt. Shout out Huey, going to support your brand, obviously. And we'll have a few vendors. I'm going to raffle off some CBD rubs. I have some pillows coming our way, so they'll be super exciting. Yeah. So, if you're excited, it's on Eventbrite. We can shoot the link below. Just kidding. No. But yeah, it's just stoked to give back to the community and just show them that we're here and we're just ready to take over. So
Appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on, Dr. Howie.
No, thanks for having us.
All right, everyone. That's episode 12, Dink or Swim. I'm Caesar.
I'm JT.
I'm Howie.
And I'm Huey.
Peace, y'all.
Deuces.
See ya.
Yeah.
I be going westbound, I be tryna double down on your late night call outside pickup. So I'ma stick around, you can hear it out loud. No cap, real talk, real straight up front. But shawty, I just gotta know you bout it though. You down to ride, we cruise control, yeah. Your spot on the passenger side, fuel your soul on the late night drive. We get it rockin', got your body on a roll. We be curving, we ain't taking up the toll. Stay swerving, no side up in the show. My lane, no change, no blocking up the road. The road to riches, lights be flashing. With you, it's everlasting. For you, I'll make it happen. Your attraction never crashing. I can never get enough. We never need a rush when the road get rough. Baby, you my only one. And I stay cruise on when you sit in shotgun, yeah. We be going worldwide. Know you more than certified when you rollin' in my ride.